Missing some people, huh?
Anybody on Zoom?
Kylene on Zoom.
Kylene was supposed to be Zoom, I thought.
I know. I just seen her zoom down over there, so maybe she was dropping down.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Everybody text her.
Carissa said she's on her way back from Havasu, so she's not gonna Zoom in because she's gonna be
Yeah, she's
in and
gonna
out of
lose service.
service.
And Jennifer's not.
No, she's out of the country.
Fancy.
It's 2 hours away. Not that far.
Oh, I was all.
Country
Whoa.
night. I'll bet country over the weekend.
Yeah. I was thinking something extravagant, like, so, whoa.
I was like,
She's an Algodones.
Yeah. She's
objective.
oh, goodness.
So we need Kylene.
Yeah, did you text her?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't text her.
Did she reply?
No.
Oh, okay, because that look was like, mm-hmm.
We can start with 3?
What's that?
We can start with only 3? Thought we had
We
4.
just can't have.
But we can't,
can't-
we don't have a quorum,
quorum.
so we can't vote on anything, we can't take any actions, anything like that.
So we'll just this is okay. All right, November 14th at 4:01 p.m. We'll call our Town of Parks and Recreation meeting. If everybody could please turn off or silence all the electronics devices and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call.
Chairman Alspa, absent. Vice Chair Beavers.
Here.
Member Baldenegro, absent. Member Page.
Here.
Member Rodriguez.
Here.
Member Hartless, absent. And then we'll show Council Liaison Daniels, and then Steve and myself.
Perfect. Do we have any call to the public? No, right?
There was none
Nothing?
presented.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Steve?
Okay, updates. Western Park basketball court is still in progress. The delay's been the lights. So we're holding off with painting the lines until we have the lights installed and the camera installed for that reason. I got an email today from the supplier. He says they will be here on the 20th. So we will get them installed soon after we have material on site.
Cool.
So as far as the grand opening that we've want to plan, it will happen after, probably December timeframe, unfortunately. City Park, the project to replace the 7 light poles is underway. I met with the contractor that will do the install, and also the Musco Lighting rep from Musco was there as well. So we looked at all the locations for the new lights and the equipment that will be installed. So that is, like I said, it's all a go. And the equipment is due January, I think he said January 9th. So we're due to receive it here January 9th. And then scheduling McCacklin Electric to do the installation at that time. So that's a good thing.
And those are all LED now?
Yes, all the new lights for Fields 1 and 2 are LEDs, yes. And they'll have a controller similar to Aaron Hill Field, which will give us the ability to remotely program things instead of having to physically go out there and deal with a timer. So it'll make it much more convenient for staff to schedule the programming and to do the as needed updates to the schedule for lighting out there moving forward. The jailhouse project is progressing. I do take a architectural proposal for the architectural work that's needed for the project. I take that to council next week for approval. So we have until December of 2025 to complete the project. So there's some time, but this is the first step. The architect that we use for pretty much all of the projects that we do here for the town of Parker has done projects similar to this, but he actually has retained on his side to help out someone who does it pretty much full-time as far as restoration and historic buildings. And so that's needed for the type of restoration / rehabilitation that we're doing on it, because some items can be saved that don't necessarily have to be replaced, and that's what the whole goal of this is, to actually preserve as much as possible and make it obviously as close to as original as possible. So that's progressing. Outside of that, staff is finished up with all of their annual seeding at all the park grass areas, the cemetery. So all that's back and back to normal use and operation. They are doing their routine work and maintenance at all the parks otherwise. So if I have any questions, that's it.
Dugouts at Field 2?
Dugouts at Field 2, I actually just received, and that's next week too, the proposals for the fencing. I've been struggling on getting the contractors to get me the information on the proposals. I finally have that, and so that goes in front of council next Tuesday for approval. And then we'll move forward with demolition and installation as soon as we get that approval. Scott already knows about the removal, so I believe he has that planned here in the next few weeks to get going and actually do the demo on the dugout. So they'll be ready to go for the fencing contractor, which is going to be Quality Fence. They've got the low bid, and I don't believe there's a long lead time for materials. It's standard fence materials, we should have that done relatively quickly. So once I get council's approval next week, obviously we'll place the order for the down payment, give them the check for the down payment on the material, and get that on hand as quickly as possible, and so they can install that hopefully before your season starts of Little League.
Pretty good.
That's all I have, though. Any other questions?
The architectural work that we talked about for the city ballpark, that's 2024?
So that is something that I wanted to bring up tonight in our discussion, is we have everything signed with the architect, so we can move forward with scheduling a kickoff meeting with this committee and/or council members, whoever wants to attend, so we can be all on the same page as far as what direction he's going to be going in. So I'd be happy to. I mean, we don't have half the committee here, so yeah, we just need to figure out a date and time to have this kickoff meeting, and obviously see what council members want to attend, so we can at least get this started.
Is he picking that date, or are we?
No, so I told him today, I said I would reach out to you guys and figure out a date, and then we will let him know. So look at your calendars. Obviously, the sooner that we arrange this date with him, the better. That way we can get things started. So by the end of this month or early December, I would hope that we could all agree on a date to have that meeting here. Whether it's at a committee meeting or we just do a work session, or just have a few members of the committee there present and a few council members present. It doesn't matter to me, as long as we have representation from both the committee and the council. That way, there's consensus once we give him the direction to go into.
What about November 28th?
Hi, guys. This is Kylene. I've joined the meeting. I'm sorry. I had a situation.
Hello.
Kylene, do you think we could meet on November 28th with the architect for Aaron Hill Field?
City Ballpark.
City Ballpark, sorry.
Park.
It's like a during business hours meeting, Steve, or is like
Yeah,
an
what
evening?
I was just going to ask about what time. That shouldn't be
Yeah,
a
so
problem, though.
preferably during business hours, so, but it can be scheduled, I would think, for this time of day, if it works best for this group. Obviously, the bulk of the people are here, and he's just one person, so I'm sure he would be able to adjust his schedule accordingly to be here in the afternoon to meet with the committee and council. I could certainly reach
3.
out to him to see if the 28th works,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
Yeah, I just have there's a Chamber of Commerce meeting at 8 a.m., but other than that, I'm free the whole day.
If we can do it at this time.
On the
for
28th?
28th, if that's available.
And we could bring it up next council meeting to see who's available. And we're gonna run that like a work session, Steve?
It's basically just a kickoff meeting, but since we're gonna have committee members and council there, I don't know, I'll defer to Amy on how to correctly word it. I don't know. Technically, obviously, if it's certain amount of both parties, it has to be, we have to obviously do public notification, all that stuff. I guess it just depends on who and how many show up. But I will reach out to him to see if the 28th at 4 o'clock is available, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Any other questions for Steve? All right, if not, we're gonna move on to, we have upcoming fall and winter events. Assuming that coincides with just Christmas in the park. It's the only event we have, right?
The color run.
Oh, I guess that's still winter. Sorry.
I don't have any updates. I was just looking at pricing still, but
Okay.
for just kits, but we still have a lot, so. And we need to figure out what we're gonna do for an event link, if we're just gonna have them pay at the event, or if we're gonna have them actually sign up.
We can't use the same one we used last year.
We can, but it charges now after 25 people sign up.
So it charges us a fee for processing.
It did, I think it did last year too, but it was like $2.50 or something per transaction, which was charged to the consumer. But I feel like the price went up.
Now there's just a fee associated with to you if you have more than 25 people purchase tickets online.
Yeah.
That's what it told me when I set up my
That event, right?
Eventbrite, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
We could kind of like say, sign up the day of and make sure we have.
Or go old school and have literally you guys sell tickets.
Yeah,
Event tickets.
yeah, we could do that too.
So it's only $9.99 for 100 tickets sold through
Oh,
Eventbrite.
Okay, that's
It's
not.
a $10 expense.
They don't charge a fee for each.
There is $9.99 for the first 100 tickets, $25 to set up an event for 250 tickets, or $49 for unlimited
It'll be
tickets.
$10 maybe over.
So to set up for $10, if we can funnel people there.
Yeah.
I think it worked good last year.
Yeah, I liked the Eventbrite because it gave me the list of everybody, sizes of shirts,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
gave me Eventbrite. So we'll go with Eventbrite.
And a QR code and promote it.
I do have a flyer made. I was waiting to finish it before I found out what we were doing for the Eventbrite type thing. So I will get that finished.
Okay. Do you remember how many people we had last year?
30-ish?
Okay.
How more?
And we're using the same route in the same area, the same concept.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully we could get, well, the more businesses, because I feel like people were, they kind of missed out. They didn't really know what it was, but then
I
once
think-
they seen the posts and stuff, they're like, oh, I wish we would have done that. I wish we would have done that.
Yeah.
And they're not doing like the $250 charge,
Right. we're
right?
not
So
doing-
like with the money down significantly, I think you'll have a way better
there
turnout.
was,
So we're not having them sponsor the corner tables?
we can. I mean, we don't have to. The tickets for the run itself were like $35 and then
Okay.
$45 a day of the event, but now we're going down to like just covering the cost of the actual kit
Okay.
itself, which is a t-shirt, like some temporary tattoos, stuff like that.
Okay, so we're charging them how much to
Um,
participate?
15. 15 and then 20 the day of.
Resale. 20 day of. Okay, and then
Same route.
same route and all that, okay.
Mhm.
So when we're saying same route, so are we saying the streets are not going to be closed again?
Or-
That would be a Steve question.
Because last year the streets were not closed, the cones were just
On the
set on the
corners.
side.
So we need
Yeah.
to submit for road closures.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can we close all that?
No, that's not feasible.
Okay, there we go.
The best to do is the cones. I mean, if anything, I think, I wouldn't say complete road closure because of the route.
Did you guys have law enforcement last year?
Unless we change the route.
So that's 17th and 18th, right?
Look again.
Yeah, and you guys went to, I want to say Joshua? Wasn't it Joshua?
Let me look at a map.
I don't recall. I think it was Joshua.
Street.
We went from 18th all the way to Joshua, down to, was it?
The first year we did the CRRCS walk, we had law enforcement follow us, and when so many people were crossing the road, they would like pull in to where there was no cars and traffic.
Is that
So-
something we have to ask?
Yeah.
It's a lot more
It was-
people.
Yeah, it was kind of spread out last year.
And that's why we can't close it all. So I'm trying to think of a different type of, not necessarily a closure, but just, and then more than just having cones. We certainly don't have enough road closure or traffic control devices to even do the entire route, because
there's
it's
just
so
not enough
big.
little signs to slow people walking or
Right, we don't have that.
or like event
how
in
far is it?
process.
Cones,
It's
that's
not
what we have
even
most
that.
of is cones. So
Not
say if
even
we were
like
to go to barricades, we don't have enough barricades to completely barricade off the roads of the entire route. We just don't have that ability to do. I mean, barricades obviously is a better way of,
So can we use the
protecting.
barricades in the higher end traffic locations and then just use cones where there's less traffic?
yeah,
So we could use
we can certainly do
multiple
that. I
stuff?
mean, I could look at a couple of scenarios and see what we can do.
Because it doesn't all have to be barricades. It could be just like,
We went from the skate park all the way to Joshua up to, like Wells Fargo, and then
Mhm.
cross through
Yeah.
Wells Fargo.
maybe like in that area, we can have more of a barricade.
And then went down through courts to end at Field One.
One. Well, if we use all the stuff that we have, it can be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
have to be all barricades.
Just kind of
or
a
all-
safety issue. I mean, I think if you get 100 people out there and
No, I'm saying
you-
like, it's either you can use
an
it, you
open
can use the
street.
cones and the event signs and
Yeah.
everything.
The main issue is gonna be going down to 12,
Yeah.
because all the named streets are gonna be, free for, there's no stop sign for the cross traffic. where you gotta be in that ditch. Well, 18th should be good, cause there's gonna be stop signs on, going to 18th on every road. And then once you turn on Joshua, it's a main road, so it free flows to stop sign at Arizona, and then 12th going back down, and there's gonna be stop signs for like us, for the runners at every street.
Maybe we can all kind of come up with a route ourselves or kind of talk about a route before we decide and come up with something.
A little bit better.
Was the goal, do you have a goal of a certain distance?
Not really, just, I think last year it was just a little over a mile.
No?
Yeah.
All right, I'll see what I can come up with, and then I'll shoot out some emails.
Okay.
What date is that again, Kaylee?
The 20th of January.
And it's not a race. It's just for fun.
Just throwing that out there.
You can walk it.
Well, I was just thinking if we found a smaller area that we could lap,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If it was safer, but if it's not a race, it's kind of,
Yeah, but then
let's keep doing laps.
They get the colors thrown at them when they're at certain corners.
Certain spots, yeah. I mean, you could still do it if we, did laps, but we'll come up with a different route, see if we can.
Because it wasn't bad, like the route we had wasn't bad. We're hoping for a little bit more control of the traffic, which there was no incidents or anything.
Yeah.
Not that I felt like.
I think what I'm leaning towards is actually using caution tape and actually having caution tape along the route. It's just a matter of whether or not I can do the entire route.
Yeah.
So those who have been here for many years, when we did our start for the races on California Avenue, we would caution tape the entire length from the light at Arizona to 18th Street. So, which is a pretty long distance. And there are plenty of things to tie to. In this case, there might not be things to tie to, so you're having the barricades in the road and some different type of traffic control devices. They're called vertical panels. We might be able to do it, so that's what I'm thinking about right now, so.
How long is the parade route?
Play route is basically 3 blocks. So when we do our race starts, though, that's usually talking 5 blocks, 6 blocks. But I'll put something together.
All right. More recent event, Christmas in the Park. Changes or anything to the flow? Are we doing it the same exact way?
I can't remember what we talked about last
I think
meeting.
we just talked about last year, possibly like our stage.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted it to be at a different location,
Other than by the tree?
but not by the, I don't know if it was not by the tree, or we just didn't have it like set up as we thought we should.
Like you want it angled a different way or
Yeah, I
pointed?
think so. I think, oh, darn, I can't remember. Was it the,
It was facing the Ramada last year.
yeah, it was kind of weird. It was like in a weird place.
Right.
I remember we talked about it having to have it set somewhere else in a different direction because it was completely opposite to wherever the attention should have been.
Do you want it facing more of the tree? I feel like it was it not? Like,
It was at,
I
it
was
was,
on
so
it.
it was
Actually,
at.
I think it was the DJ set up on the opposite side because of the connections or something like that.
Well, yeah, so the power's coming from essentially the Ramada and the sign pole where the tree is lit next to. So the power for the tree comes from that pole, from the new sign pole that was installed over there. But the stage can essentially go wherever. We'll just run power cords where we need to.
Yeah, I think
So
it was
it
more of
doesn't
like-
necessarily have to go in the same spot. To your point, it can be moved. Obviously, we just need to get power there for the DJ and that, but
Did we
Um,
secure a DJ? Does anybody know? Jennifer kind of is heading this up, so I'm not,
I'm not too sure if we did, but we should send a text to Fabian. Erica.
In Texas.
Well,
If we,
at least we could get on his radar.
yeah, for sure.
and that's December, it's a Friday.
December 1st.
At 4 o'clock. So if we're gonna move the stage, the only thing that would make sense would be to put it north of the tree, facing the park, I guess.
Which I don't,
Yeah, I mean.
You could move it there and so it faces.
So we did lose another tree that, over that, kind of in that middle section. So there's plenty of room for the stage really wherever you want to place it.
Miss Melissa, you got a question?
Yeah, they're telling me to go to the microphone.
Oh.
Trying to use my.
Got one too?
Yeah.
Sorry, shoot.
So we're with Seroptimus, and then we're helping out with the Kids Christmas. So I have 3 questions. Because we're doing the Santa photo shoot, do you pick up Santa, or do you want us to pick up Santa?
So,
Is Santa a real person?
Santa's a real person.
No, I mean, like, is
Of
this
course
like?
he is.
So, back to the stage before we talk about that one though, we did talk about turning the stage to the actual grass area so people can be in the grass area and the tree is behind them. So that way, because last year what happened, everyone was facing this way and crowded in that little area between the stage and the pavilion. And then they said, let's light the tree, and you turn around and the tree was already lit. So we talked about doing it this way.
Something.
So then the tree is in the background to light it, so that's what was talked about after. But to her thing, last year Jennifer had the helicopters bring in Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the Grinch. So that's one thing you're asking, right? And then also, they're gonna need lights for the photos, so if anything, they should possibly be where the lights are too.
Well, then that was my other question. So, who's picking up Santa? We could pick him up, or you guys plan to do whatever, just let us know. And then, what time frame are you looking for photos? Does it matter to you? If it doesn't, we'll come up with a timeline, but be done about 15 to 30 minutes prior to lighting of the Christmas tree. But just kind of wanted to get a timeline of when we should plan to be done. And that way, if Santa needs to go from taking photos over to the Christmas tree, he has enough time to get the last kid's photos done, walk over there, and then not be, we're out of time type of situation. Do you guys have a timeline that you're
Did
looking
we,
for?
what time did we start light the tree last
So it's
time?
4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then we did the tree lighting ceremony at 6:15-ish. And I say ish because they waited till it was dark and then they started doing caroling and then they did the tree lighting. So I don't think the tree lighting was technically until like 6:30, but they started doing all the other stuff at 6:15. And that gave people who had crafts and stuff time to say, okay, you need to transition over there too and stop as well. If we did the singing and all that again a little bit before.
And
So
there's lights under the,
6:15-ish.
lights under the Ramada, right?
There it is.
So do you
think so,
guys want to
right?
do your photos
Ramada,
there?
yeah.
Is that where the ladies want to do their photos?
Can you do the Ramada?
We are setting up. We have a setup booth, and that's my other question. Where do you want us to set up? We have a backdrop, so we're BYOB. Bring your own stuff, right? Or bring your own
Not
basic
BYOB,
kit.
please.
Bring your own
Decorations.
BYOS. So we're bringing all of that with us, and literally everything. The only thing we don't have is Santa, and we can pick them up if you want us to. So the only thing we, I guess, don't have is lights. It's gonna start getting dark around 5:15, 5:30. So quality of photos will go down at that point unless we are somewhere where there is lights. And it's not very tall. It's probably a lot, maybe we can fit under the Ramada.
Is it just your step and repeat?
Huh?
Is it just the step and repeat with the background?
Yeah, so Santa's gonna stay still the whole time, and Mrs. Claus is with him they'll just stay still. They're in a setup, and then we bring kids in and a family in, and we can bring them out. They come in, they come out. Santa and them do not move the whole time, so everyone just steps in, take a picture, and leave. It's a like a photo backdrop setup with like snow around it, some presents on the side, Santa's chair. And it's the same setup like the library was. It's the same backdrop. We just have we have a way of traveling and transporting it to wherever we want to go. So we could set up wherever. I just kind of want to get an idea so I can kind of like scope out like how big of a space we
So
have.
with the way the light is, I mean, would you be opposed of like setting up in front of the barbecue where you like block the barbecue?
Sure.
Because when
I
the
mean, we
light
could
when
hide
the light
whatever,
comes
honestly, that's a
on,
good
it'll
idea.
light that up probably the best if you're still taking pictures when it's dark because the light's just above you.
Anything that's behind us, you won't see. So you don't want to. We would like to hide a barbecue, but we don't want to hide the tree, right? So
Right, so
that
the
sounds
tree's going to
good.
be more off to the right. So the barbecue will be in the center. You could have your line of people
Mm-hmm.
down the middle. Crafts we had on both sides of the tables.
That might work.
That-
Yeah, that might work.
So I think the only other light too that might be is the one right outside the restroom, because isn't there a light this way? But then, never mind, the light will be behind Santa, so never mind on that.
Yes, you have the lights from the light poles, and those are in the grass area and towards the other side of the park.
They have lights on
You
the
have basketball
volleyball
court.
But you wanted
Setting up in the
I-
Ramada
I know,
closest
that's
to
why I
the
almost
big
felt-
barbecue would probably be the best. If you want to try to incorporate the tree in your picture, that's going to be a challenge because it's offset
need
from
the
the
tree.
Ramada.
We don't really need the tree. The backdrop is standalone by itself, and that was my goal, to where we can be set up literally anywhere, and we can add pizzazz to wherever we're going, because then it's an
The
extra
Ramada's going to
thing.
provide the best lighting for your
Okay.
pictures. Absolutely.
So I'll plan to
whatever
do the
corner
Ramada.
you think is best to set up in, that's what I would suggest.
Now, if we get there and things change, obviously, no big deal. Just let us know so we don't set up and then we need to move, because once we are set up, that's going to be
I
hard
think
to move.
last year you had just games, I want to say, in the Ramada area.
Games and crafts.
crafts.
That's right. Crafts.
Mhm.
So I think there'll be plenty of space regardless.
Okay.
And we can even take out tables. So tables are secured in there. They're actually screwed down to the concrete, so we can actually remove tables. If you go over there and say, all right, well, we need this amount of space, we can actually move the picnic tables out of the way and move them to a different location
Okay.
to give you more space.
And that would be something we need to decide, obviously, for the day
Yeah,
of.
so just check it out before that date and just let, you can contact me or, and then we'll get out there and the day of, we'll relocate that to another location or take it out completely so you can have your space.
Cool, thank you. Just to recap, to make sure I'm on the same page, we're gonna set up right now, the plan is to set up underneath the Ramada, hide the barbecue. Picture will be from 4 to 6. That would give Santa enough time to be done with and move over to wherever else you need him. And then we're still debating on who's gonna actually pick up Santa, but we are an option. If we need to pick up Santa and bring him, we can do that. But if you guys are gonna deliver him, that's great too.
I'll text Jennifer and have her.
Yeah, have her, you, whatever, message me or any of our
Okay.
Seroptimus members, Kylie, anybody who's a Seroptimus member, just let us know.
Because if they are gonna do a helicopter, I would say he's not gonna arrive until between 4 and 4:15, so.
Okay.
People can start lining up at 4, but just to at least.
We probably won't be ready till 4:15. Okay. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
FYI, nobody has talked to Fabian about being a DJ that day.
So are you starting that dialogue for us?
So the dialogue has been started. What time would he be out of there?
30-ish,
Yeah.
because they used his whole system for caroling and everything too. And then once the tree lit, it was done.
Should we say 6:30 or 7?
Six,
Just so-
6:45.
I think his contract
7.
doesn't start with
Huh?
the bar until like 9,
9.
so.
Oh, okay.
And is that the plan as far as the stage is concerned? We want to face that towards the restroom then?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I think it was, we just kind of needed to tell the DJ where to put his stuff, because I think he kind of just said it and then it was already like, all go, and there was no way we could move it. So I think it was just kind of more direction.
And you want him on the stage?
Yes.
Okay.
And we planned for Randy Hartless to light the tree, is that what we said last meeting? And Jerry Hooper to read a story, is that what we said last meeting?
Like prior to the tree lighting?
Yeah, there was something about.
As Jennifer was suggesting, read the night before Christmas.
Jen was gonna ask Randy and or Jerry to read the story.
And Jerry, and Randy to light the tree, correct? Or to say
Yes.
whatever he was gonna say, okay.
And then she was also going to get with Leah and Laura, to see if they'll sing songs again.
More updated songs.
So,
See,
so
was
I mean,
listening.
do you think as a group of people and a bunch of kids, we're going to captivate them for a story, for songs, and a tree light?
That's why when I heard the story, I was like, what?
No.
Because I don't feel like they're gonna be there, you know, it's,
So just songs and tree
Tree light.
lighting then?
yeah.
We'll wait for
Because-
her, but yeah,
You know, I just feel like the story is,
okay.
we're not in a setting for a story, I'm
Sure.
sorry.
I don't mind either way, honestly.
We were just thinking, last year they sung 3 or 4 songs, but they were the longer ones. They were like Hark the Herald Angels and stuff like that, not the Jingle Bells songs. So depending if they sing the shorter songs,
And
the
something
ones
like-
the kids know, the Here Comes Santa Claus,
Right.
those kind of
The-
stuff,
the
yes.
upbeat ones, two upbeat ones for the kids, because it's basically.
Rudolph.
Yeah, they can definitely sing one long one that shows their talent,
But
but
we're
I
not
would
at a
incorporate
talent show.
sing-alongs as well. Yeah.
You know, like we're trying to.
I mean,
sing
do we pick the
upbeat
songs or are we
Start with
gonna let the
Silent
people that are
Night and then-
singing it
No,
pick their
like, you know,
songs?
let's get some
What's the plan for that?
I don't know, that's
Jennifer
Jennifer,
usually
yeah.
is doing that.
two upbeat songs.
Just my suggestion, have a couple songs that the kids could sing to, because last year that was one of the feedbacks that we got at the chamber, was that the vocals were amazing, but none of the kids knew the song or
I don't
could
even
sing
know what
along
song
to
you
it.
just said, so.
They were, I don't even, they were older
I
ones.
don't, I'm so sorry.
Sing
How did it
Jingle
sound?
Bells.
I said Hark the Herald Angel Sings or whatever it is.
How's it go? Those,
What is that
We
song?
know- we had great vocals, we know
That's
that,
right.
like-
Yeah.
I remember that from my church going days
Yes.
with my grandma. That's how anything.
Okay, so two upbeat songs.
And I know we can't vote, but Fabian
Yeah, we can.
just confirmed. Oh, Kylene's here. Fabian just confirmed.
Okay.
Lock them in.
And then the only other thing we have for the chamber is the ornaments are ordered. There's 120 of them total. And they'll be here the Monday before, because that's when you said you wanted them.
awesome.
And Taylor and I will help. I know you want Public Works to put them up, but we can be there to help you put the zip ties on or whatever else
That
you need
was
us
a-
to do.
That was a process.
Yeah. So you just tell us when.
Okay,
Thanks.
That's the week after Thanksgiving?
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because putting those ornaments was a chore last year.
Week
It was
after.
nice.
Available after 2, so let me know.
Yeah.
I can help.
All right.
Okay.
I don't recall. How
Um,
many did we have last year? You recall? Never mind. That's not important. Don't worry about it. 111?
We have more than this year.
Wow. Great.
So as far as any other, if Jennifer hasn't confirmed with you guys, we're gonna have to talk to her, but as far as we had talked about cookies from Walmart, and I don't know if anybody's done that yet. Remember at one point we talked to, and sorry I wasn't here last time, but one time we mentioned hot chocolate. Did we make any progress, or is that something we're doing, not doing?
We'll have to talk to Jennifer and see.
I thought we were gonna.
I was supposed to reach out to Rayanne and I have not done that yet, but I will do that this afternoon.
For hot chocolate.
And that's for hot chocolate?
Yeah,
Okay.
she did the hot chocolate, kind of like, I don't know if you guys went to the chamber mixer that I had at the Joshua Street Mall. She kind of decorated her little traveling tavern and she did hot chocolate. And so I will reach out to her too to see if that's something that she would want to do.
And at
Can
the,
can I give her, what is an estimate about how many people?
Well, are we talking, are they gonna get, not to.
First
be-
come, first serve.
Are they getting free hot chocolate, or are they paying? Because last time there was we had
Wasn't
the
there
booth,
confusion?
and there was confusion, and it's either are we gonna give hot chocolate, or are we charging for
I
hot
feel like we can, if we have an idea, I can say, look, like how much, you know, I'm sure she's not going to charge us a lot. So if I say we need hot chocolate for 500 people, how much would you charge us? And even if we paid for it, I don't think people should have to go there and buy their hot chocolate.
Correct.
Me either.
Right.
Okay.
So I feel like if we can get a reasonable price from her, she's not gonna, she's there for the community too, as much as any of us. So she's not gonna charge us more than probably what it actually costs her to do it. If
Okay.
even that, I don't even know. So I'll ask her and see but I just need to know what type of, about how many people you think she should expect so I can find out about how much she might charge us.
500? Not a lot. 400?
I feel like that's a lot too.
That's
Did you
Is
guys
it?
get that many people last year?
Well, because if we,
I would feel safe with the first 250 people.
I feel
Okay.
safe.
250?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Feel real
A
safe
lot of
right there.
people, but obviously not everybody was drinking hot cocoa last year,
right.
so.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there was easily probably 500 to 1,000 people
And
there.
maybe she can do like the
Tiny,
small like kid
yes.
cups and then
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
Because, I mean,
Small.
like I said, if it's a given
Shot of hot
item,
chocolate.
it's a way
You're
different.
not going to
than-
complain. It's going to just,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Anything else for Chris?
For winter stuff, just wanted to throw it out there. Mr. Optimist is doing the Parade of Lights, and I mean, I don't know how to formally invite you guys, but I would love to have Park and Recs or even the town of Parker, anybody that would like to be in the parade, walking or afloat, just so that way other people can see the great, clubs that we have in town or the organizations that we have. So if you guys are interested, our flyers out there. You can reach me or
What day is that?
Taylor, or, it's on the 9th. 9th is a Saturday at 6 o'clock is the lineup. 6:30 is the parade, and it goes down Main Street. So Joshua Street there. So we'd love to have you guys walk in it, or if you guys have groups or organizations that are interested in walking, love it. So
Okay.
just throw it out there.
All right.
We could walk with our sweaters.
Yes,
Okay.
do it.
We have two floats in it already. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else with Christmas in the park? Okay.
Most important ones was the DJ, which we already got that. So do we have to vote on that?
No.
Or we're just saying he's in?
I need to vote.
No? Okay.
This streetlight proposal for streets and traffic, we're skipping past that.
We just brought that back. They were more than on board with that, so we just wanted to let you guys know.
Okay.
We have sent the information over to Bruce, and we'll be talking with them and hopefully piggybacking on the project that they're doing for the street and corner repairs through town in 2024.
And that's with the crosswalk idea. Gotcha. All right, budget report. What's that for us, for you guys? What?
You guys have, I don't know, did you guys get this? So,
No.
I think you requested this,
I
right?
did request
Okay.
this, yes.
So this is essentially just what we've spent out of the Park and Rec.
Do we have a copy of that? I'm sorry, I don't see it in our file.
No, so I just got this in my box today, so we don't have it for you, and we'll let.
Can we see it?
This is what I requested
pass
today.
it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
That's
just. it's
today's,
zero.
I
Okay, so this-
requested
this is-
before's too.
Sorry, I
Go ahead.
was planning on being there today. Like I said, my life's a mess right now. Anyways, when I had asked to add the budget onto the agenda, and I think I mentioned this a couple times, that's kind of what I had asked for, is put it on the agenda every month. So every month we could have a printout of what has been spent out of the budget, what our year to date looks like, and so on and so forth. So we can kind of keep track what we've spent it on, what we have left. I mean, that's kind of to kind of make it available to all of us to review on a monthly basis. So that's why it's still on the agenda. And I think I had brought this up the last time and asked for it again. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. I don't know if the whole board is on board with that, or if that's, maybe it's just me, but I think that everybody was just kind of curious. One of my things was, I know that we had ordered the glow sticks. We had talked about doing the glow sticks for trunk or treat, and I don't know whatever came about with that. I know Carissa and I were there, and Jen and I were there, and I believe Daniel was there, and nobody knew where the glow sticks were. Nobody knew if, we had been told they were ordered. I didn't know if we received them, so there was no glow sticks passed out at the trunk or treat. So that's why I just would like something to look at, to be able to see, like, month over month, what have we spent, what have we not spent, what we have left, kind of just to review it, so that we don't ever get into a position where we don't know what's in there and we don't know what we've spent money on.
So I asked about the glow sticks today, Kylene, when I came over here and requested that. And I don't know the full story because I wasn't here for trunk or treat. But from what I heard, it was miscommunication because the glow sticks were ordered and I requested the invoice to make sure that they were ordered. They were left here at the town of Parker and nobody ever picked them up. So they're still here in a box. I don't know who was supposed to pick them up. I don't know who was supposed to take them over there. But they were ordered and they are sitting here in a box.
Are they Halloween colors, or can we use them for another event?
I think now they're labeled Christmas in the Park.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
But what colors they are, does it say on the invoice what colors?
It just says glow sticks.
I'm assuming it's
Oh.
assorted, so
Yeah.
we could
And then
always.
Dark party favors, that's all it says. So it says supply decorations for birthday, so it's not a specific.
So
Well, it does say Halloween.
I believe the box is now labeled,
I was gonna say,
Christmas
we
in
could
the
use it
park.
for,
and hopefully somebody can pick it up and take it to Christmas in the Park.
Yeah, I wasn't here for trunk or treat, so I wasn't here that day. So if they came in and they were left here, that was probably something that I would have taken over there, so.
I know at our last meeting, we were gonna talk about in person, the budget and what we were allowed to use it for.
Yes. And so that's why Ms.
That's where I
Nora is
come in.
here.
Okay.
For those that don't know me, I'm Nora Yackley. Right now, I'm serving as the intern town manager. My normal duties is community development. So I've talked to Erica. I've also talked to the mayor, and we've kind of gone over what Park and Rec's responsibilities are, what your duties are, what council's duties are, what this budget's all about. So there is a pot of money that is marked for Parks and Rec. Typically, that money has been spent on summer programs in the past. So your PACE programs, we also used to use it for the summer rec program that we had. We paid somebody and all the things that go with that. That hasn't happened since COVID. So we did lower the budget a little bit this year on that. We took out wages, those kinds of things. I was under the impression until doing this research that all of the baseball and the football and all the youth programs that ask for donations were also taken out of this budget. I have since found out they're not. They're taken out of bed tax. I'm at a conflict with that because I don't know if that's really where we can take it out of. So I spoke with the attorney today. She's looking into it because she has the same kind of feeling that I do. They're not sure. Bed tax is usually spent on things to publicize the town or bring in, your visitors into town. And I'm not sure a youth program actually falls into that. I think we could fluff up Pop Warner for sure, because you're bringing people in. Little League, if we're hosting a tournament or something of that sort. But we just don't quite know yet. So that's kind of where that is. We've also used bed tax for back to school events and the Red Ribbon Week. Again, I'm not sure if we can really do that or if that should really be coming out of the rec program as well. Now, the other thing that comes out of rec, and again, we didn't have that this year, was the aquatic center. aquatic thing that Bunny was doing. So legally, you guys are a recommending board. So you can recommend to council that you want whatever it is that you want. And they can vote on it or not. My kind of,
Under a certain amount, do we have, like the glow sticks, they were 200, whatever, like, does that have to be
as
taken to
it stand-
council?
as it stands right now, anything, the way that I understand it now, yes, either Steve would have to approve that, because he's the department head over this board. What I'm kind of recommending, and I'm going to take this just to kind of see how the rest of the council feels about this, but giving you guys a $3,000 budget that you guys can just spend how you see fit. I don't know how that's going to work. That's something that is obviously going to have to be brought before council. So you guys can do the glow sticks and the other things that you want to do. Or if you want to order a huge canopy for whatever, you guys would be able to do that on your own without having to go through, that whole process. The other thing I haven't been able to find, and I've been searching high and low for, I will be getting with Amy a little bit more on this, is the resolution that set this board up. How is that exactly set up? I don't know. I mean, I can tell you how P&Z was set up. I can tell you how the Board of Adjustments was set up, but you guys, I don't know. So that's something that I'm researching as well, so that we can have that for council. I also spoke to the mayor and also our attorney, and I would like to bring her in at some point to meet with all of our boards to kind of give you guys an idea of what your responsibilities are and what council's responsibilities are and where you guys work together and fit together. Because I think there's been a lot of overlap over the years. We've done it this way for so many years. Do we still have to continue to do it that way? Absolutely not. But you guys need some options. I see a lot of frustration where you guys want to move forward, but you're not getting the help to move forward, or we don't know exactly how to move forward. So I think if we get that resolution so we know how this was set up, we're actually being able to talk with the attorney and know where our responsibilities are and where your responsibilities are, and make some really clear decisions on that. So putting the budget on your agenda every month is probably a great idea. Your fundraisers, I know it was said that it goes, whatever profit you make on those goes back into the general fund, which is true to a certain point. But you have, and I like to use buckets as examples. Your budget, your rec budget is the big bucket that council does every year, right? They give you, I don't know what it was, $20,000 this year. I don't know. I have no idea what it was. I didn't look at that part.
It was a little over 12.
Okay, so they gave you that much. Or they put that much into the rec budget. And that's to spend on your summer programs. If you guys need seed money to do your color run or to purchase those different things, then we do that. We use that. And then whatever profit you guys might make on your color run, you put that into a glass, which is just another bucket of, I call it, because you've got your big bucket and then you've got these little glasses that go around it.
The glass is the general fund, but
No,
under
you have the
Rex?
general fund,
Okay,
you have your budget within the general fund, and then you can have a glass within the Parks and Rec. In that glass is where you put your donations, and that's what you would earn throughout. And in that donation bucket can only be spent for things that you guys decide that you want to spend it on. Does that have to go to council? Absolutely, it does. But if that's where you've collected all these donations or all this stuff, and I'll use the pool as an example. They did all these different fundraisers and whatever, and there's $200,000 in a glass sitting within the Park and Rec's budget within the general fund, and it can only be used for the pool. That's it.
Okay, so what you're saying basically is that we do have this money that is, this budget that is allocated for our Parks and Rec committee, and it is possible for us to use it for events that we want to use it for.
Absolutely.
In the beginning, they gave us $12,000, let's say, but now you guys are gonna cap it at $3,000?
Well, you can use all $12,000 of it, but that has to go to council for them to approve.
At a certain dollar amount or
Well,
every
right now-
transaction?
Right now, the way it sits, it's every transaction, because you're just a recommending board.
Okay,
So you're just
then-
recommending to council that this is what we want to do, this is what we want to spend. It's not an efficient way to
I think
run this.
I think what we were wondering too, though, is like for the Halloween trunk or treat.
Mhm.
I had suggested, okay, if nobody volunteers to do prizes, let's take out of the budget. And that was a no-go. Everybody was like, nope.
And that's
Can't do
where,
that.
well, and that's where the $3,000 comes in.
Okay.
If we just get that okay from council, that you guys have X amount of dollars, however much that is, however much you guys want to ask for, and council approves that you guys can spend X amount of dollars on prizes or,
Okay, I see. So there
Like
is
when we
gonna
do
be a
the-
$12,000 budget, but out of that
Correct.
$12,000 budget, we have 3,000 of fund money, let's call it fund money.
Right.
Fund money that, hey, let's pay the,
DJ.
let's pay the
DJ.
DJ, or hey, let's pay the tavern.
Right.
And we don't have to ask for permission or get it approved.
correct.
So
Our
but-
committee approves it.
Yeah, but you kind of already did that. You broke it down by.
So I did, but I just need to know how it needs to be. So, because we only meet once a month. And so to make things move, it takes forever. So I just need to know that we need months in advance, a budget for the particular event, submitted to council for approval, so we have time to fund our events. Because our biggest question is, since I've been on here, was we were door knocking with local businesses who already serve the community and asking them for more to an event that we're trying to give back to the community. So if the funds were there, we didn't see the point in hitting them up for more money, which they already give, to do a public event when we have a budget to give the public free hot chocolate.
Right.
That's all. And so I just need to know what the rules are around it so we can submit and have it approved in a timely manner and make it work.
And I think that's kind of where we're headed.
Okay.
But I would like to see you guys be able to make some decisions without having to go through all the hoops. But yes, at this point right now, you would just have to submit that
Okay.
through Steve to the
Just
council,
Take the council. So,
be able to say yes, no, whatever, however that.
so clarification, or just so I know from my own knowledge, this event is in 2 weeks. There needs to be a few checks cut for that, like for the hot chocolate, for the DJ. Does that all need to go, do they need to write something for Steve to go through council next week? Like,
No, we're gonna, at this point, until the attorney comes out and gives us all our direction as to how we are going to move forward from that point on, and I find this resolution, I will sign off on your hot chocolate and your whatever things that we need for the Christmas in the park, because that's just what we need to do.
and it'll come
make
out
it-
of this
It will come out of this,
budget for 2023,
Or a
24.
yes. If I can take it out of this budget, I will. If not, I will take it out of miscellaneous, another bucket that we can take it out of.
So one more question then, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So I know there was a lot of confusion with last year's ornaments and that
Mhm.
$600 you guys raised last year. Is that sitting in the glass?
It is.
Somewhere? Okay. And they can use that, like if they wanted to use that for the hot chocolate.
That was my miscellaneous.
Okay.
Nice clarification.
That it?
Yep.
Good? Okay. Kylene,
Thank
you have
you.
any questions?
Nope, that Erica hit on all of the ones that I unmuted myself to ask, so thank
Okay.
you.
Perfect.
So one more question, sorry. Sorry. So whenever we have an event, so let's say we're gonna do this is the Christmas one is our next one, and then our next event would be the color run, and if we need to buy anything for the color run, is that brought up at the next meeting? And we go to you because we don't have the
No, we
clarification?
probably just need to write a budget and submit it for approval. We have enough
Okay.
time to do that.
Got it, cool, okay.
Yeah, and the requests just need to come through me, so whatever the committee decides as far as purchasing, just comes to me. And
Okay.
then we will make sure that it gets purchased.
Perfect.
Obviously, it does have to be in a timely manner because we don't want to be behind and waiting for stuff. And so that's obviously, starting the planning for these events months in advance is obviously what you, as a committee, do. Just know upfront that, you know, if you have to order material and order supplies, that has to happen relatively quickly before the event, so we can have it all here. Like the, you know, glow sticks sitting in the front.
All right, perfect. All right.
Everybody forgot.
It is what it is.
Parks and Rec survey update. Is that Ms. Mandy?
I was not prepared for that.
Okay,
question, But
don't worry about
I
it.
can say that we had over 120 new responses from Trunk or Treat.
Wow.
So between Kylene and Krissa with the iPads and Jen with the QR codes, we got a decent amount more. I sent out an actual number via email. I haven't checked since then, honestly.
Okay.
But I mean, that's not bad. Better than a poke in the eye. And he's probably like, that's only 4%.
It's about
but-
15%, so if you total, what is it, 300 some odd at this point? Yeah, so you're looking at about 15% of the entire population of the town of Parker, so.
So if we want to
It's,
promote it
it's
again.
not a representative amount to take action on. So just keep that in mind as a committee. So if all 300 and some odd respondents say they want a pool, that doesn't mean the town of Parker then puts in a pool. That's not how this works. The point of the survey is to get an idea from the community what their wants and needs are. Granted, everyone wants a pool, we understand that, but that's a whole different subject.
How many do we need?
To get
Yeah,
to
what-
get
I
a
was gonna ask.
to get a decent, I would say at least 50% of the community would be a number that I would support. If you don't get 50%, to me, that's not enough to go in a direction.
So at Christmas in the
What-
park, we can do
what-
the same thing?
Mhm.
Okay.
I would.
So,
Yeah, so I do have a question though. You know, as far as the grants and stuff, we had people kind of asking when we were going around with the iPads, you know, and I was kind of telling them, we know we need it for grant purposes. At what percentage though do we need it to be at to where it will potentially improve our chances of getting funding from grants? Is the 15%, okay, sorry, I'm walking around in my front yard. Is there a specific percentage for that, or is it that is and doesn't really matter?
No, it doesn't really matter. They want to see community input. That's the big thing. So having this survey is, no matter what the amount that responds to the survey, the 15% currently, that's a great thing that all of the grants that we apply for, they want to see. Yes, granted, it's not a significant representative of how many people we have that live here in this town, but it's an outreach to the community. What are your wants and what are your needs for the town? So that's a positive. We will still score well when it comes to applying for grants, even if we only have 50% of the community responding to this. They just want to see that we are reaching out to the community, and yes, we're getting some input. Is it enough to drive us in a certain direction? perhaps not. But it is at least representative, yes, the community does know about this. The community is having input on what we're doing as a committee and as a town, so that's a positive, and it scores well.
Can we run it in the newspaper, like the QR code?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The QR code?
But you can do like a direct link or say, go to our pinned Facebook post.
Because I think we did our QR code in CRCS. I want to say it did.
So I have two questions in regards to that. So first question, Steve, when you're saying that you want to see 50% of the community's response, when you're taking the community population as a whole, roughly 3,000%, does that include those under the age of 18, or is that number?
No, so the breakdown, I don't know what our breakdown after the last census is, but 3,132 is the population of town.
Over 18,
No, total in general.
because we won't have those kids
I-
responding.
Understood, but obviously kids aren't filling this out. Parents are.
Exactly.
So we want parents to fill this out. We want, those maybe who don't have necessarily parents, but like to go to the park and have these different amenities at the parks. You still want the residents of this town to fill out the survey because they might not want a pool. They want maybe an exercise track, instead of a pool. So that's important. I don't know what the breakdown is percentage-wise of those under 18.
Could we
I
do that?
just don't.
Because that's kind of like not ideal to be shooting for that number if those kids can't even take the survey.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to say we would expect or would like 50% of the population to be, saying we want a pool when half of the population is going to be under 18 and not even taking the survey to begin with.
Yeah.
So I feel like it needs to be 15% of the population that is over 18. That would give us a more accurate representation of what voting people, old enough to make those kind of decisions would be wanting.
But I guess the ultimate thing to understand though is even if we got 75% of the population, just because 75 said they want a pool, doesn't magically mean a pool pops up.
That's right.
So we have a pool house that needs to be completely renovated. We have a lot of things that, I guess that would be the bigger message. Like, I wouldn't want to tell people, fill out our survey. We're trying to get 50% of the people because we want a pool.
Yeah, you could have 100% participation and everybody wanting a pool. Doesn't mean the town of Parker and this council is necessarily going to approve a pool. Because
Correct.
It doesn't mean that they're not either.
Correct.
I totally
Does not
agree.
mean that they are not.
Totally agree. So it's obviously a decision that has a huge ramification as far as, how do you do that? How do you pay for that? The reason why, or one of the reasons why the pool was taken out was because of the cost. I don't think a lot of people understand the amount of cost that goes into a pool. On top of that, there's a huge liability portion involved with this. As you know, this committee knows about, different poles and things falling down at these parks in town. The town has from varying degrees, an old infrastructure. So old infrastructure tends to fail after time, okay? So things are starting to fail. The same with the pool. The pool was in for a significant amount of time. It started to fail. On top of that was the cost to actually operate the pool. When you want to operate it as though it's a business, to where at the end of the year you are breaking even. If you are pulling more money out of your bank account to pay for the operation of that pool, that means that general fund is going negative instead of being at an even balance. You want it to balance out at zero. Well, that's not what was happening with that pool.
We can also do go look at Blythe and their community pool and Havasu and their aquatic center and nobody said we had to do that size of a pool again too. So I know that the survey doesn't mean
Under the age of 18 can't take the survey, but I think I heard John say it too, is that we're not limiting the survey to just the 1 square mile of town of Parker, because we're also going to have Crit people filling it out, Hook River people filling out, Ehrenberg, even some
Absolutely.
coming in from California as well. So Johnny made a good point. I heard you. I didn't acknowledge you, but I heard you say that too. So there is
Right.
that factor as well. But with the survey, I know at the last meeting we talked about, is it possible to boost it on Facebook? We were going to look into it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was going to ask that question.
I think we talked about that.
But we didn't know about the funds and
We didn't get
budget
approval.
and all that good stuff.
I will look into that and get it.
It just takes a credit card.
$10.99.
Who's got the card? Who's got the card? Okay, anything else about the survey? We come to the conclusion, we're gonna promote it again. Are you gonna be there at Christmas in the Park? You're gonna be at Christmas Park, I'll be there. Okay, so for sure, the three of us.
Have the iPads.
The
or
iPads, the
phones
QR
or-
codes, yes. Well, I have to ask you for the iPad. Okay, okay.
As long as somebody's there to do it, I think it would fine.
Okay, perfect. So we can do that and try to get more input. Basketball.
Quick question. Sorry. Mandy, will we have the only thing that I had the issue with was when I got too far away, I wasn't able to the Wi-Fi thing. Will there be something at the Christmas in the Park for Wi-Fi so that you can do the login thing again?
Unless somebody brings a Starlink, you just have to use your own hotspot.
There's no Wi-Fi over there,
Just
I'm
use our own-
sorry.
Like our own
Okay.
phones. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. I can do that. I just was curious if that was going to be something anybody else might need. You know, DJ, I don't know what Fabian does and all that stuff, so.
I'm not techie, but the sign that we program the events on does have Wi-Fi. Is that something that can branch out? Do you know, Steve?
Yes, we need the passport.
Okay, we can play with that. We have a password.
Yeah.
Well, if there's an
There's a password and it's,
my ID name and a password, I wouldn't see why you couldn't
It
connect
should
to
be
that.
wired though, it shouldn't produce a signal, I would imagine.
yeah, I know. Because when we program it, literally,
We sit in our car.
I guess the best thing
Yeah.
would be to take your phone,
we can play with it.
take your phone over there and see if you can connect to that Wi-Fi from your phone, and then it would be doable.
And use like Safari or something on there, not just like your specific programming, whatever you use.
Yeah, use something else, yeah.
Alright.
So we can try that, because it
Okay.
is Wi-Fi. Because I've gotten it down where, I won't say it out loud, but Johnny, plug your ears. I hit send as I'm driving this way. And then I turn around and drive this way, and I check the
I'm
sign to
sure
make sure it's
Johnny
good.
has seen a lot worse.
Melissa, and you wanted,
Yeah, I'll get one.
okay. Amy, can Melissa get one of these?
before
The flyer, please.
How do we know about cookies and stuff?
Okay.
Okay. And then we said basketball court, we're gonna delay it until
Well,
like
I'll
January-ish.
let you folks know as soon as
Yeah.
we're
Yep.
ready. And
I can say though, it's received very well.
Oh, yeah.
There's kids there nonstop. It's even with the soccer goals up right now, there's people there constantly playing
Yeah.
soccer, playing basketball. It's
I've seen pictures of like older people like super excited about it. And just FYI, I did talk to the PHS varsity basketball team and they're super excited to be there. They said they're willing to just come and like shoot around.
Awesome.
If they want to do 3-on-3 with the Parker PD, they said they're down for anything.
We have
Yeah.
the cheerleaders there.
I did.
3-pointers.
okay.
Come
So-
see me for physical therapy.
So we'll wait for Steve to give us a time frame on the lights, and then we'll schedule that. And then just for us board members, we need to get a hold of Jennifer and iron out the details, cookies, Kylene with the chocolate, and with Jennifer in regards to craft. I think EWS did crafts, and I think Walmart did crafts, but we just need to iron out who's
Crafts,
doing
cookies,
those.
what else?
There
There's
was
like 15 of them that did crafts, in all honesty.
Right,
I think
so-
Plunkett, yeah, David
And I-
Plunkett Realty was doing.
I
crafts.
sent that at the last meeting, who signed up last time.
okay.
And
so-
it did, they were actual vendors, which we're not having, they actually said vendors. Everyone else said like crafts, because Royalty was there doing a craft. David Plunkett was doing a craft. We just made them reindeers. EWS did a craft. Somebody had coloring books there. Yeah, there was a lot.
I already
So we
reached
need to
out to
reach out to them.
Jennifer about the Santa Claus thing. She hasn't wrote back, but I'll let you know when she does. So crafts, cookies, Santa.
Other than that, DJ's done. We'll be there at 4:00. Who wants to be responsible coming to get the glow sticks?
I'll be responsible to
Okay.
pick up glow sticks.
Now.
I was going to say, put them in the car.
They're just the little, I don't even know if they're necklaces. You can put them together and make a
Okay,
necklace.
perfect.
I want to say there's like 4,000 of them.
Okay.
They're just in one box.
Perfect. So we'll get those for Christmas in the park. Confirm Santa Claus. So, and confirm helicopter ride or not. So there is no vendors this year.
That's what you guys decided.
Right.
I want to say it was
Okay.
September. No vendors at all, other than, I know Jennifer did say food.
Right.
So food and hot chocolate would fall in that vendor category, I guess.
Right.
But then no one else, which we have had a couple calls at the chamber and we've told them everything's free and just crafts and to call the town to get signed up. So I don't know how many you have. So,
Okay.
The end.
well, I could tell you, Parker Boat Co. is bringing their Grinch photo booth that they had last time. They need power. That was an issue last time. And then I know River Church was also one that wanted to do it. And we referred, we've been telling everyone to call you guys. There's somebody else too that I told them to refer to you.
I know the S Club girls were thinking about doing a craft. So I'll have them get in contact with you. Everyone else we referred,
Yeah, we just keep telling them to call here.
but to say if they've called, you never know.
Yeah.
Give them another number.
They'll wait till the last minute.
Does anybody have an issue of setting them? Do you not want stuff on the basketball court? Like if there's a food vendor or a craft?
Full use of that basketball court for anything.
Okay, so we need to probably set,
Walking on.
Correct.
And playing basketball on.
no scooters, no bikes. So if we're gonna set up crafts, they're not all gonna fit under there, and we don't want them disrupting Santa's pictures.
Right.
So we probably need to set up an area and
Like
line.
8 tables under there, isn't
We,
there?
we didn't even have them under the Easy Up last time. They
Ten,
were
at least
literally
10.
all had
They go
booths all
everywhere.
around the
They put
park.
their little
I thought those were
tables-
vendors, but okay.
The only ones that were under there were ones that didn't have an Easy Up.
Okay.
Everyone else, like EWS had their own Easy Up.
Right.
We were in the middle. David Plunkett was next to us. They were all in the grass area, spread out.
Right.
I made like you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're good?
Yeah.
Have anything?
No.
Questions? No?
Can I, sorry.
Yes.
You guys are doing the architecture meeting for ball field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance we can maybe see what it would cost to put that soccer field together?
Yeah, that's gonna be part of the feasibility study, yes. So having the kickoff meeting.
November 28th, 4
I
p.m.
think that was already included in his, the information that we sent him so he could provide the proposal in the first place, so.
Thank you.
And then the only other question I have, which Amy answered, but getting something from the town that we can send out to businesses about doing a craft or something at Christmas in the park.
Gotcha.
So,
Not selling.
and Amy said she would do that, but just when she does do it, if you guys will pass it out to businesses too.
Do we want it
I want to
printed?
do it. Mm-hmm.
Do we want it printed or do we want, just do a Facebook post and share it to people?
We can do that too.
Even just the email, if there's that many crafts last year, 15?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
There's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And just a fake.
I want to
post
say there
saying-
might have been maybe a little bit less because I know there was 3 or 4 actual vendors. So even then, 12 or so.
And there's
craft.
no video, right? Or no movie?
No.
Last meeting, they decided not to. However, Jennifer said she was still going to go over there and see if they'll show a short cartoon one,
Okay.
is what Jennifer said at the last meeting.
Okay.
But it was not beneficial to do a full
Movie.
movie because it started too late, it got cold and all that.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and I know Zach said he prefers to be the Grinch because he has a lot of fun versus actually running the video.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else?
We need to get Chelsea an application.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll end this meeting at 5:09.
And it's-
More business, however, I need to take off 2 businesses. October 10th and 23rd, I forgot to attach those for you guys.
Because I forgot Kylie was here. I was skipping everything. Sorry.
No worries.
I forgot. We can vote. We can vote. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so if you guys can review, or if you have or have not, August 8th and September 12th meeting minutes. We need a motion to approve. Our motion in a second.
I move to approve the minutes for August 8th, as well as September 12th. No, I can't do the 12th. I can do the 8th.
We can just do them separately if you want.
Okay. Do I have a second to approve?
Second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of September 12th as written?
I approve.
I don't think you, I don't think you have enough to actually vote on that one. Well, because she'll be
Abstain.
abstaining. So it's just Kylie and,
Oh, so we don't.
So just the one.
Okay. 12th, 10th, and 23rd. Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll end our meeting at 5:20 PM. Thank you.
everybody.